Hello. My tablet is running very slow, very slow. It's taking its time. I don't know if it's offended, if it doesn't want to work. Now it's shutting itself down. It's deciding that it doesn't want to work. Hey, Fluffy. This tablet is such a mystery for me. I'm here after work. Oh my. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure you're very tired. This tablet is such a mystery because um, I mean it's an old it's like the first tablets that appeared. I do have one that I do have to get fixed because the charger part it doesn't connect, it's broken. Meanwhile, I'm using this. And this one, it's like I have it while we are talking here. I have it plugged in, so when I finish the live stream, the battery is on 100%. So then, to make sure that the next live stream I will have it ready, I turn it off and it's left full battery. But then when I sometimes, not every time, but sometimes like today, I turn it on because I have to use it and it says zero battery. And I'm like, why do you have zero battery if were full charged? Thank you. Ah, yes, the Buddha, the Buddha. I brought it. See, I told you. I told you I was going to bring it. I told you. I told you. Yeah, I did replace it. Like, I mean, I brought this here that I usually have it in the entrance of my house, and I brought the other one too. Like, I replaced it for because it used to be in the garden, so I brought it inside the house. Um, yeah, I will have to wait until it finishes charging at least 5% because it's not going to let me use it. Um, hey, Samara, I cannot see a thing. I'm reading the tiny letters and I'm somehow like guessing what it says. Um, hey, Akira. My dad, my dad is feeling better. I mean, he has all these bruises in his face. It's awful. The way he hurt himself. It's like I just cannot begin to describe, guys, how shocking it was for me to go to his house because I was like, he's taking a long time to like, to get home. Especially because I knew he went to buy groceries, but his bike was at the house. So I was like, where is he? But yeah, he decided to take a bus to go to, a near place that we have here, and go to this market to buy, yerba mate. That is the one that we use for the mate. Um, and so he went there, and it seems like, while he was returning, the sidewalk it was uneven. There was a part that it was uneven, and he didn't see it, or I don't know, he maybe didn't. He just tripped and fell on his face, and he was holding the bag. So the bag, it had like 3 packages of yerba mate, and they are like this, but they are made of paper, so they do have sharp corners, I would say. Um, they are not that heavy, but I believe that the way he fell, he must have like hold it or something. That it is scratched, and there's a lot of bruises here, over here, like hematomas here. He has all like purple, and there's like scratches. I think that the scratches are from the package. um, and then now he's complaining that, it hurts like near his chest on that side. So I will have to take him to see his doctor tomorrow, just so he can, check on him to see, because, the people of the ambulance, the nurses, they did came and they check on him, and they were like, okay, yeah, nothing's broken. He's all bruised and there's inflammation. He also hurt his knee. Um, so there's bruises and inflammation, but you know, about the side, that side, I don't know. So I will go with him to see a doctor tomorrow. Yeah, it must have been hard to see. Yeah, I think that he has he has problems with his sight, because this is not the first time. Remember, he had this accident like in January near my birthday, that he also cut himself in here, because he was like trying to place on the wall a shelf, and the metal of this, it is scratched, and it is scratched, and he needed stitches, because the cuts were so profound that he needed stitches. And through that experience, now we are in May, and he has this. And last week he had he also was watching, the people that were working on the ceilings. They were installing like the pillars of wood. So, and they were using some pillars of wood to sort of create a platform so they can step on it and work in height. But he was, looking around. He was looking what they were doing, and he passed beneath that wood, and I don't know how he did it. That he hurt himself in here, and he was bleeding again. So I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, why do you have all these accidents? Like, and it's all about like him scratching, because his skin is so sensitive that, that every time he, like, maybe he just, something scratches him, it takes the skin away. It takes a part of the skin. It's that thin. His skin is that thin. It's that sensitive. Um, and now, that he's all bruised in here, he had a huge bump here that now is not there anymore, because he put a lot of ice on it, so is it's slowly, going back to normal. But he had, like, when I found him, that he was, drinking a tea at his house, and he was all bruised. I was like, oh my God, what happened to your face? I thought that it was just the face. He was like, oh, I felt, and I thought that it was just the face, but I was like, I have to call someone. You cannot be at the house like this, all bruised. Um, he didn't want to go to the doctor because it was very late. Um, so I called an ambulance. I we waited, and then, yeah, he hurt his knee. There were scratches also in other parts of. He must have, like, fell on his side, and this is why he was grabbing the bags, and this scratch sort of amortiguate the fall, but they also hurt him in the process. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, but I don't hurt myself. Like I did hurt myself while going down the stairs. But this that is happening to him, oh my, oh, wait, this that happened to him is serious, it's serious. It's something um that we have to go and talk to professionals about, because he is 80. So, he has to understand that no one is telling him that he cannot move. I mean, no one can tell him not to do things. Um, but he needs to find a way to not accelerate himself while he does things or while he goes around in life, because we want him to stay accident free if that's possible, if him not hurting himself, because it's not a good experience. Thank God he didn't break any bones, but if he had, it would have been very difficult, the recovery. So I was like, you are playing with fire. You are playing with fire. You're playing with your luck. You know, like just get it together. Get it together. So maybe I don't know. A doctor can actually, maybe he will listen to the doctor more than me. I know he listens to me, but I think that um, I don't. I think that he listens to me because he doesn't want me to get upset. But at the same time, I want him to understand that this is like, you know, real. Like it's a real issue. Mm. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he needs to be more careful. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is why I think that I don't want to be that severe on him, because I know I can be very severe, and at the same time, I think that I kind of understand, that maybe, he wants to feel useful, he wants to do things, he wants to be active. I think that this is the way he processes maybe loneliness, or maybe him, feeling old, because we will all get there at some point. We will all get there. No one is safe from being irrational. I mean, if people are irrational while being young, while being, in their normal state, in the plenitude of life, you cannot even imagine, how irrational we get as we age. so, so yeah, but in this case, it's more about his safety. It's not that I don't want him to stop being himself. I don't want him to be in the house, like locked down and all sad and just, be doing nothing, just sitting all day. But it also not only worries me, but it also makes me sad to see him hurt like that, like to see him all bruised and all in pain, because I do have to, give him the medications. I have to remind him, to take care of his wounds, so so yeah, it's and also, I have to divide my activities. I also have to get out of the house. I have to go and do my things. I have to go and do my responsibilities outside, and I cannot depend on him. Um, so yeah, he has to be much more collaborative. A wheelchair. Yeah, get a picture of one and put it on the fridge. Yeah, yeah, I told him that. I told him. He doesn't know what it's like to be really, like really, and I hope he never does, to be unable to move, or to be, I don't know, to have a broken bone that is not going to heal in 5 or 4 days. He doesn't know how lucky he is to have, the health that he has. um but I don't know. Um, it's tough. It's tough. I don't know, guys. I have a huge respect for falls or accidents, because since it happened to me last year, that I was also in denial about it because I didn't have bruises. Remember that I told you. So when it's like this, it's more serious when it doesn't bruise. In his case, he bruised right away. But I think that you have to be careful where you hit yourself, because in this part especially, there's a lot of organs. So I never thought about it until it happened to me, until I had all like this part all swollen, and it just wouldn't go away. Remember that I told you that I went to see different doctors, like give me another painkiller, because I don't feel like I'm getting better, and they just didn't know what to tell me. They would, they would touch, they would look, but it's like, give it time and let's see, let's try to see what is not and what it is. I don't know, but it was. My grandma is in a wheelchair and I can walk. She finds it so frustrating and often says it's not a proper life. Yes, it's so precious. Yes, yeah. I remember, and my mom, like, because before I was born, she was in a car accident, so she had a broken femur in his left leg, so she couldn't, like step on it properly. She would have a limp. So she will have to use, like, I don't know how you say it in English. Is it like how do you say that stick that you, but not the hand stick, the one that you put here under your armpit? Crutches? Is it a crutch? Yeah, she had one for his left side. And she would always have to use it to go somewhere. Like, she would always have to use it, and also in days where there was humidity, she would complain that, that his wounds, even though it had passed a lot of years, but it would hurt, and she had like a metal inside that femur that was like sort of, keeping everything together. I believe she had a piece of platinum, um, and it was like an awful experience. She was marked for her whole life. I believe that it happened right after she got married. Like, she was like 30, 31. Um, so, and she had this frustration, like, she wasn't normal. Her experience was very different from others. Um, she would, become very reserved, or just didn't want to participate in activities, or, going somewhere, because she would feel like, she would slow people down, and she would get tired easily. And, so I think that, people that don't have those limitations, we don't know how lucky we are that we are able to walk just fine, and not to have a constant reminder that you are hurting. And also, it's a kind of pain that it feels in the bones, literally. There's not a cure. There's not the same with what I have. I have a rheumatoides. I don't know how you say it in English, but I do have rheumatitis, I think is. I do have it also because of lupus. There's days, it depends on also the weather, but also my knee would get swollen, and I just have to, put it to rest. I cannot be standing that long of hours. I can be like standing like, 7 hours tops, because I am at places where I have to be standing. So, this is why I notice, and going down the stairs also, it makes my knees a bit weaker. They get swollen easily. So But it's tough because everyone is like, oh, why don't you have ibuprofen? Like, and I wish it was that easy. No, I have to use a special cream to put it on the sun. I have to add ice or warm. Um, but it's all like an attempt to make it for you to get better, but actually it's more like is is part of it's a condition. It's not so much like, oh, you will have a painkiller and it will go away. No. Okay. Mm. This is why I'm also like because with lupus this is the thing that I always struggle with it, and I think that a lot of people that have lupus they go through the same. That is that isn't a disease, is an illness that you look normal on the outside. You look totally normal. I think that we all people that have lupus somehow we do. Some of us depends on what medication you're taking. You do get a bit rounded in the face, um, and it depends on your lifestyle and everything. Um, but the same with thyroid is the same. Um, but when it comes to lupus, it's such an invisible, in the sense that I can be in pain all day and people will not believe me. Like when I say to people that I have rheumatitis, people are like, but you're so young. That's an old people disease. And I'm like, I have it since I was 13. So yeah, I have an old people disease. I have an old people's bones. So yeah, I remember going to see the doctor for the bones um, and the specialist, and they will always be also very like old people. Yeah, and I will be the old one. But yeah, it's different, and I think that this is why I never. Sometimes when I get moody or I get a bit, like I don't want to see people, or I'm like, I don't want to do this, or I want to cancel things. I learned to be, patient with myself, and not explaining to people why I make the decisions that I make. I try to live my life as best as possible, to not remind people that I have a condition, but the reality is that I'm not normal. So there's things that I will be able to do, and there's some others that is going to take me longer to do. And it frustrates me because I'm usually someone that I do love to work um, fast. I'm very like I like to go here and there. If I have to do physical like labor, I love to be here and there, moving things, like I love it. But sometimes my body stops me. My body is like, whoa, wait a second. Your knees will not hold up. Hmm. Hmm. I hate when people say that as if it's a choice. Yeah, I know. Because of how bad my teeth are, I've been like going through it lately. Oh, I've been taking it one step at a time. Does it hurt, Samara? Does it hurt that much? Yeah, we should all be kind to ourselves. Yeah, it's just that, sometimes when we think about, pain, I think that people have like a preconception of how someone in pain should look like, and I think that it has to be graphic. People have to see you bleeding, basically. They have to see like the huge, cut, or the bruises, or something that for them to believe you. I mean, like, oh, I guess you say that you're hurting, or that this pain is sort of making you comfortable. Oh, I see it. But if they cannot see it, they will be like, oh, but you will get better. Like, You're like, I wish it was that simple. Oh, my teeth hurt so bad. Oh, I understand about tooth pain. So yeah, it's so, oh, for me it hurts till here. When it happens, it's here and here. It, it's, mm, I don't wish it to anyone. Many people get used to it too, especially when it's chronic pain, so they don't show it as much. Yeah, I have the two root canals that need to be done and 80 cavities. Oh yeah, I do reproduce also cavities like crazy, but that's because of the low immune system that I have. But yeah, I every time I'm like they're like, okay, done. I say we finished the cavities, and I go like the next 2 months, like from there. 2 months later, I have them again. And about root canals, I end up losing the teeth. That's so sad, but it happened to me. Same as depression or emotional pain too. Actually, it's not always visible. Yeah, depression is such a silent. I think that depression scares me the most. Um, um, because I had my career in counseling. I had done all the paperwork, and I had seen people, and I had do all my practices and everything. But I think that when it happens to a loved one of yours and they don't show it, like some people would think that, oh, there's this um, you know um, um, these signs, and no, it's so silent that it's scary. It's scary. um, I think that I would prefer, to have a loved one complain to me over and over about how hard their life is, but at least they are talking to me about it, and they are, externalizing what is going on. They are putting it into words. But depression is so silent, and then it's too late. So yeah, it's scary. This is scary. And also, I think that we've seen it when we think about, celebrities, or when we think about K-pop or K-dramas. And, there's all these cases that even though we don't know these people, it happens. And it leaves a lot of questions, even though we will never know for sure, but it leaves a lot of questions. Yeah. Taking meds and mouthwash. Yes. Same reason got issues with wisdom teeth and had to get rid of it all four in one go. Thank God. I think that in pandemic I got rid of two, and it happened like, yeah, in the same day, because they were so misplaced. They were so complicated. They were all placed like in a very wrong position, in a very wrong position. And then the third one, I had it removed like 2 years ago. So I still have one left. I still have one left. And I'm like, oh no. I realized my wisdom teeth hasn't come in yet. Like they are under the gum. The one that I tell you that it was in a very uncomfortable position was like, it was like not under the gum, but it was like sideways, like sort of pushing the other, and it was covered in, like, it was somehow like, yeah, covered with gum. um Not entirely like inside, but it was like because of, the gum somehow had to protect the inflammation, I guess, or the um yeah, the inflammation, so it would create an extra skin around it. So I had to get a lot of plaques, to see where it was because it was sideways, so it was like hidden. He couldn't find it. It was like I can somehow see that there's something in here, but it's like, oh my God. Mm, yeah, yeah. Just be patient, Samara, with this. I think that for me, what helped me the most was actually finally meeting a dentist that was so kind enough to maybe explain things to me before he did all the procedures, or maybe just be patient, when I would complain like, oh, it hurts here, or I have this issue, or I'm not sure, what do you see? Because, going to the dentist is so, for me, it's so stressful. It's so stressful. And I do like every time it starts to hurt, I avoid it as I can. I try to be like, okay, no, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Um, but finding, a dentist that, because there's something that at least it happened to me, and I know that maybe there's people that they also feel the same, that sometimes some professionals, some dentists, they are very harsh on their clients. They are very harsh on the person that comes to a consultation. We go because we are hurting. We don't go because we are bored and we are like, oh, I want to get my tooth fixed. I wish it was so, like, for me, going to get my teeth clean, like going to get a cleansing, is like the happiest moment because I know that I'm going to get my tooth cleansed, and I know that it's painful also to do that procedure. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to get traumatized by they have to pull a tooth out, or they have to, you know, use all those machines on my mouth. So I go happily, to get my tooth clean. I think that that's one of the procedures that is like the most fun for me to go to. But there's some dentists that they are very harsh. Like you can you can definitely feel like the guilt. You're like, but I did brush my teeth. But I don't know what is going on. It's not that I am not taking care of it. Oh, it's so weird. I have a doctor's appointment on the 20th. Okay. I feel like a lot of dentists are not nice. The last one I saw was great, but before that, not that kind. Yeah, I think that, yeah, you feel the judgment. See, for me, it's like this, and I get on the defensive very fast. Like I'm like, if you're going to be like that, um, I don't want to to come here, and I have to come here because, your service is very important for my health. But at the same time, there's some things that you cannot help. Sometimes we are busy, we don't get the free time, or we don't get the the spare time to go to a dentist because we are working, or we are dealing with personal things. So, to go to the dentist, you do have to, not just money, but you have to have time also. And they're like, yeah, come back in 2 days, come back in 2 weeks. And you're like, okay, okay, I will go. But it's not that simple. It's necessary. I respect their craft, but if you're not nice with me, I don't feel like going. Mm. I hope there are no dentists in the chat. Yeah, thank you. I hope not. I apologize in advance. We don't want to offend any kind of profession, but yeah, it's traumatic. Mm. I wasn't going to the dentist often enough either. Plus, I think the same. Yeah, I had canal treatment. Mm. Um, I, why, guys, that I dropped my lamp? And it's getting darker here. Let's see if I didn't break it. No, I didn't break it. Thank God. Because it fell. It fell. Because now it's sunny outside. It's sunny. I have the window in front of me. But as we are speaking, the sun, like today is a bit cloudy, like the sun comes and goes. So it's going to get darker here. It's going to get darker. Okay, guys, I'm going to start today with these readings for unusual ships. This is supposed to be like a very fun, like, not that deep kind of dynamic tarot reading. Um, I had done the same series. I had done it last year and this year because, we have been talking about everything that is going on in our lives. And I wanted to introduce, a happy subject, not so, not so deep. Um, Not so much about like future. So yeah, let's see about these unusual ships, some ships that people have mentioned or brought up through the years, and some maybe that you're like, really, these two, really? But yeah, let's see what the cards have to say, if there's something or not, or if very far away, it's very delulu and there's nothing. Mm. The work I need to get done is like 4 grand without insurance. Oh, my friend had braces for 10 years and 8 of them were scam. The first dentist screwed it, and when he changed dentist, it only took 2 years. But a total of 10 with braces. Yeah, I think that, yeah, 8 is a lot for braces. I would die. There's a long time. Oh my God, that's a long time. I never had braces. I should have had braces, but when I was young, we didn't do those things. There was no money left for those, for getting braces, unless your teeth situation was very like, it was like, oh my God, they have to operate you, or they were like, oh, you will lose your teeth, and you will have new ones, and those are the ones that you got the teeth that you got. It's like, when I was a child, there wasn't the possibility, of being like, oh yeah, I will take you to have a treatment. I remember during my childhood, it wasn't like that. It wasn't available. Um, so we used to go around with the teeth that we had, that we heritated. It was like it is, and I do have like crockets, like my teeth are crockets, but the ones beneath this one is like on top of the other is crooked. But I was thinking about getting braces for this part, but it's expensive. I don't know. I'm 40, guys. I think that I'm just thankful that they are here. That's it. That's it. I'm so thankful that they exist. That's it. Like crooked or not, but they exist. Ah, that's why they offer the Invisalign, because it's like a grant. That was the issue. My mom was so that said on taking me to the orthodontist that I have all these issues. Hmm. Yeah, I know. I know. And also, I remember from my experience, I believe I was like also, yeah, 12, 13. that my mom, they used to take us to this dentist that he was very weird. But I remember like, yeah, I have cavities, and I think that instead of the guy, like, you know, being like, okay, we're going to do you like a root canal. I don't know what is it about the tooth, the teeth of the children, but there must have been a treatment available. No, he just pulled my tooth out. He just was like, oh yeah, this one is messed up. Let's get rid of it. And he just took it. And I was barely was 12, and I already had like, it was one that was very far away, of course, but it's like you took it, like you remove it, like there must have been another option. Um, so yeah, no, no. And then that person, I believe that they had a lot of like lawsuits, that man, because I believe one day he disappeared. So yeah, maybe he wasn't that good of a professional. But I remember my mom took me there. Like it was like, oh yeah, that's the dentist in town. No one questioned, what he, and they wouldn't take me somewhere else to get like a second opinion. So mm, yes. But my I remember that, like, my mom and my dad, they were so, like, I would say ignorant in that aspect, because my dad always had like, yeah, issues with the teeth. I believe he lost very young, also at a very young age, he also lost a lot of teeth. um but my mom was a godsend because she, until the day she died, she had all her original tooth, teeth. She never got like, like, um, like an implant, or no, it was all her original teeth. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. I swear, her teeth were amazing. But you know what is, now I'm thinking about it. You know that now, like, you do have to floss also, but you know that there's these tooth sticks, these sticks that it helps, to clean between the teeth, um, and the gum. I remember my mom used to do that with the wooden sticks. You know, these ones that you use to pinch on tiny pieces of wood. That these are like this um, tiny sticks. They were made of wood. Um, and she would use it, like she would be done eating, and she would just be, like, carving between the teeth, and all the time she would do that, because I think that for her it was like, like I eat something and I feel like something got stuck in my teeth and I use it. But she would be very consistent with that. I would never see someone do that often. And she would be very consistent with that. And I think that was maybe one of the reasons why she was able to, have her original, tooth until she was very old. It was discovered that some treatment we got at school as kids here in Mexico was doing bad, like really bad to us, but no one was doing proper research. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Akira. I think that is same in Argentina, definitely, because that man, what he did, that he removed my tooth while I was just a child, instead of doing some treatment. Yeah, that's wild. That's like brutal even. And I don't know about other cases, but okay, guys, I will let you know who I have on my list for the unusual shifts for today. I have EXO Sehun and SNSD Yuna. I have Nayeon and BTS Hobby. I have Go Young Hoon and Cha Eun. I have TXT Hyunin Kai and ITZY Yuna. I have Jung Ha-in and An Ha Young. Park Bo-gum and Kim Soo-hyun, the actress. Um, because yeah, it sounds like the name of the man. GD and Han So-hee. Choi Mino of SHINee and Irene of Red Velvet. And Hypen Hison and Karina. Rice Wombin and Espaninin. Xiao Shan and Yang Si. Yang Si. Who did I read about? Because I'm having a deja vu about Nayeon. I think that in the previous unusual ships, I did Nayeon with another person, and I don't know why I think that it was with Hobby, but now I'm thinking I'm like no, it wasn't with Hobby. Could it be another BTS member or someone from a very important group? With Lino. Yeah, it was Lino. Yeah, but then it was her and another person. Could it be her and Dio of EXO? That it wasn't like unusual ships. It was more like if they were compatible. Mm. JK Imagine. Yeah, it was in the compatibility series. Yeah, it wasn't unusual. Yeah, because they went to the restaurant. They were seen breathing the same air, so you know it's shippable. You know, I was almost calling to work today. Oh no! Oh my god! Oh, Sambal. I hate it when that happens. I remember I used to go through that as well. I would try to be far away from my phone, but they would call me anyway. I would hate it so much. But yeah, yeah, I swear. They're like, I don't want to disturb you, but you know we're having a situation here, and this person cannot make it. Ugh. It moves a lot. Then. Okay, I'm going to start with EXO Sehun and SNSD or Girls' Generation Yuna. Okay, this is Sehun. This is a home. Oh wow. I have a lover boy here. Why does always the back of my the skin of the back of my waist, it always shows on camera? Every time I go down to grab something, they always show my bare skin, like always in all the videos. Like it doesn't matter. It's not that short, the top. Can you hear? It's working. Yeah, guys, just let me know. Okay, about these two, let's see if this is an unusual. Okay, if this is like an unusual from Exosehund, we have the Page of Cups. So, and from Yuna, she has the Nine of Wands. She's like, oh, not another one, not another one. Like, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. And we have in the middle we have the card of the Fool. It says fresh hope. So yeah, definitely it shows that, maybe he had a crush on her when he was very young. Like definitely this is giving me like Magne energy. But he was maybe infatuated with her. I don't know if he said it at some point or if he expressed this maybe at a show. I don't think so because he's very reserved. But I do see him as this very, inexperienced and young child, so very um him very easily getting infatuated with beautiful women. There's something about him seeing a beautiful girl and be like, my first love. And him just being like very like him feeling butterflies. But also the Page of Cups is like, that was when I was very young, or I don't know why I think that there's something about 13. Could it be that he was like 13 when he joined SM? 13 years old? It's giving me 13. Or 13 is an important number. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just very infatuated with her beauty, probably. And from her side, she's like, I don't know what age difference, if there's an age difference, but from her side, she's like, I'm not I'm not even looking at your way. I'm busy. You are not the first guy that falls in love with me. Like everyone falls in love with me. I have a lot of eyes on me. It gets a bit annoying to the point where she's like, another one. Like I think that she's like, wow, you know. Um, it's not that it bothers her, but probably there's something about maybe she got a lot of confessions back then. She got a lot of love letters, or she got a lot of love messages, or maybe she also was in a relationship with someone. So it feels like her energy is like, I'm not available. This is not fun. This is not cute. Please don't tell me about it. Like, um, he's very young, or he's very, very young. I don't know. But um, the Nine of Wands is also, maybe she was like super busy. I don't know about Yuna's beginning of her career. Maybe, with the girl group, they had a lot of things to do. So there's something about her setting boundaries and be like, I'm a bit burnt out. I don't find this cute. I'm not in the bad mood also. Like I cannot appreciate this or see this the positive side of this. Like actually like I'm a bit tired. I'm holding on very, very strongly here, but I'm not in my best mood. I'm not even going to be nice or funny about it because I'm tired. So I wonder if she gets a lot of propositions or if people, there's something about, I don't know if someone made fun of her or someone just threw it like, oh, he likes you. Or he says that you are, the girl that he likes. And she's like, oh, no, like, stop mocking me, like I'm tired, I'm busy. Yeah, not in the same page, definitely. Um, but maybe she tries to be funny about it, but maybe that much attention is a bit uncomfortable for her. Even though maybe people are like, oh, but this guy is really cute. The one that said that you are her favorite member or her bias, or her dream girl. And she tries to be funny, or maybe she's been told to be funny about it, or to take it with grace and be like, oh, thank you so much for loving me and supporting me. But inside, she's really tired, or she was tired. Um, and we have the Fool that is a fresh hope. So, it's a very unusual ship, but with fresh hope, there could be a new beginning they could meet up at some point, them being more mature, especially him. So in the future, they could, have more something, they could start something, maybe more a connection, maybe working, side by side more often. With the Fool, there's potential of them starting over, but maybe when this initiated, it was awkward. It was awkward. Kelly's meowing like it's the end of the world. She's meowing like crazy because she can hear me. She can hear me. She's like, what? I don't know if you can hear her, but she's such a dramatic cat. It's so loud because she's like, louder, louder, louder. Oh, she makes me so because she's like these people, that you don't listen to her. It's not like her meow, it's like, discreet. It's like meow. No, it's like meow. Mm. Oh no. Mm. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Like, especially when I start laughing, I get all red. If you notice that I'm red in my face, it's because when I start laughing, I get all red. Or probably it's my allergies as well. Um, oh my God. Please give love to the live stream, guys. I appreciate it. Don't forget to leave your like. Okay. I'm going to continue with Twice Nyan and BTS Hobby. Let's see. Twice Nyan and BTS Hobby. Okay, from Nyan's part, Seven of Swords. And from Hobby's side, the Sun. And in the middle, we have the King of Pentacles, that the keyword is discipline. Could it be that they were working together or they were doing something? Maybe if people saw them together, they were being professional. because the King of Pentacles is giving me professionalism, like disciplined, like I'm very proper. I'm doing my best. I'm experienced. Like, yeah, I know this has like consequences, or maybe people will talk about it. But in their case, they are just being professionals. They are doing their job. And they will probably continue doing this, maybe twice in BTS. So, don't get shocked if you see it. Um, from Nayeon's side, we have the Seven of Swords. So Nayeon is like she's trying to, leave the picture. Um, and also Nayeon makes me laugh. I don't know why. I think that I mean, there's good vibes and everything, but there's something about her energy being like, yeah, thank you. I have to go, or I have to be somewhere else. So she's just like being nice, but in a professional way. And also the Seven of Swords is like, I don't know if she feels a bit like, because him showing us the sun, there's something about him being very bubbly, or optimistic, and maybe very smiley and just very outgoing, and her being like, oh, okay, um yeah. And trying to match with his energy, somehow being like, but at the same time the Seven of Swords is like, I don't want to get too close. Maybe it's because of potential rumors, that also, there's something about Marion's energy just not being available like that. So if people think like, oh, they're friends, or there's a deep connection, I think that there's good vibes, and there was like an objective, there was a goal while they were in the same place. And it feels very structured. And she was like, I have to go. Like, I'm having fun. This was great, but I have to go. And probably also with the Seven of Swords, there's something about her trying to avoid these rumors, or her trying to avoid these, maybe people talking about this or having speculations. I think that she's not that, she's giving her all, but she's like, yeah, I have my objective somewhere else as well. So it could be her going to another event, or just having, maybe her mind or her view is about her own career. So she's like, yeah, I'm doing this with you, but at the same time, in my mind, I'm thinking that, I need to save energy because I have to be somewhere else. So it's like, I'm going to be here, but it's not going to be, I cannot stay, or I cannot, reciprocate. Maybe, he could be very warm or very welcoming. He was just having the best time with them. Definitely there's good vibes. From Hobby's side, he really likes her. Maybe he finds her very amusing, or he finds her very funny. There's something about him smiling at her a lot. Like, oh, your energy is really cool, like I really like the way you are. But in the case of her, she could be humorous. Yeah, she could be funny, and just be playful. But there's something about her being like, yeah, till here. I have to go. Yeah, this was fun. Bye. But it's not, being, it's not disrespect. It's just that she's sort of reserving her energy for future projects. And this was part of this, with the king of pentacles. There's, prosperity. Mm. She's like, there's something with the Seven of Swords that probably, um Nayeon's energy is like, I can laugh with a lot of people, or I can seem comfortable with a lot of people. But the people that you think I'm dating, you will never know. You will never be able to guess. Like, there's something just very, like very challenging about her energy. It's like, I always run away. I always leave you hanging. You will never get the full confirmation from my part. Um, and she's like, you guys have no idea who I'm really interested in. You guys have no idea. Okay. I'm going to read for the actress Go Young-hoon and Cha Eun-woo. Go Young-hoon and Cha Eun-woo. I don't remember this actress, and her name doesn't ring a bell to me, but maybe I know her and I don't remember now. Go Young-hoon and Cha Eun-woo. Another one that got the sun card, so she's so expressive, very very positive, very positive. I think that there could be compatible in the sense that she compensates his, I don't want to say his lack of energy or lack of excitement, but it shows that maybe he has a seriousness, or when they met, they had these two different attitudes, and she was like the bubbly one, like the one that was more, more, um, outgoing, I would say. From her side, for Go Young-hoon, we have the Sun card. Very happy to be, working with him or in his presence. In Chao Nu, we have the Four of Swords. And in the middle, we have the Two of Pentacles, that the keyword is balance. So I think that they really balance each other out. There's something about, them probably getting along also, but at the same time, the Pentacles also is very formal, or there's something about us like having to be here or associated because we are working or we are putting efforts together. So somehow it all has to do with them, seeing each other because of work, or because their characters have to be not at the same level, but there has to be chemistry, or there has to be, reciprocity, of energies and effort. So when I move like this, you respond to me, or when I do this, you laugh at my jokes. So it feels um, very like automatic, like, I do this and you do this, and in this case I think that she's the one that seems like her energy is the brightest, so happy, so playful, so authentic, I would say. The sun is giving me authenticity, very outgoing. She probably shines a lot. I don't know about this person, but she's giving me like she shines so much, and maybe when she smiles, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, but she seems like it's very different, her character or her nature, from Chao Nu in this connection. We have the Four of Swords, so Chao Nu is like taking a nap in this connection. Chao Nu is like, yeah, I will go and take a nap and wake me up when this is over. He's unbothered completely. He's unbothered. It's not that he's ignoring her, but there's something about him also not making a big of a deal. It's like, yeah, we get along, or yeah, we work together, or yeah, we had this exchange, or we had this um these moments, but yeah, I don't know what to say about this. I'm just, I just know that it was easy, she didn't, she wasn't problematic, not everything, maybe things went smooth, but probably it happened very fast. They enjoy it, but it feels like they could potentially be friends with the card of the Two of Pentacles, because the Two of Pentacles, it's about balance, but also it's like the initial states of a situation. So it didn't develop that deep for this to be like, oh, how are they feeling for each other, and if they were compatible. It feels very structured, very arranged. I have to be here, or you have to be here on this side because I am on the other side. So it's all arranged. It was put together. The relationship was built to be like this, to be in each other's way because of work. TXT Hyunin Kai and Itzy Yuna. Kai, Hyunin Kai, and Itzy Yuna. Hmm. Okay, yeah, with the Ten of Pentacles from Huninkai, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Then from Yuna's side, we have the Empress. And in the middle, we have the High Priestess, Intuition. And it's very interesting when I see the High Priestess and the giver is Intuition, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm like the card is telling me, use your intuition. What do you think this is? If there were rumors that they could have been true at some point, not I mean, it's all very like the cards are very realistic in the sense of like it's like the cards are like, what do you expect? They are beautiful. They are beautiful. They are. It seems like they were built to be together somehow. I don't know. From Kuning Kai, the Ten of Pentacles. I think that could it be that they are part of a group or are they the same age or something like this? Because it feels like legacy. Like when I saw this, I was like, is this the company? But I think that for Kuning Kai, there's something about him, choose, maybe they have like they had interactions, but it wasn't that obvious. For him, it's like, we had built a sort of um, routine together. Maybe there was a reason why they were in the same group or with the same people. And also, he seems very abundant. Like there's something with the Ten of Pentacles that he feels very whole, very completed. The Ten of Pentacles is like, I have a stability to offer you. Um, is Huninkai rich? Does anyone know? Because with the Ten of Pentacles, it's giving me like, yeah, opulence, like, oh yeah, both of them, both of them, both of them. Because she got the Empress as well. So there's a lot of, a lot of richness, a lot of, abundance, prosperity, uh, possibility of us to hang out with the rich and with the beautiful people. So they do have this in common. They do have this sort of society in common. They are part of a group of not just like idols. No, it's deeper. Do they go to a fancy not school, but like church, like something like this. But do they play tennis together? Like it just seems like very like yeah, we seen each other a couple of times, you know. Um, he's like yeah, I know her, I know her, like I you know, but it feels very. It feels nice. It feels like, you know, these two could actually work, but at the same time, you know, it's giving me that it's more for a cause or for a community or for appearances even, you know, because the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress is, for me, from Yuna's perspective, is more like, yeah, what did you expect? I'm beautiful. I'm an empress. Like you will ask about Yuna and other people and you probably will get the same answer or you will get a positive reaction on the opposite sex part because maybe she has the appeal, she has the femininity, like a lot of eyes are on her, or she's just very desired like this. So the Empress is like yeah, he had a crush on her, and she knows this, and she's very comfortable with the idea of being liked by him, or you know, just getting to know him. um it feels like, you know, it's long standing. Like if this happened a long time ago, it has potential to build to be something, or maybe they are friends. And but yeah, it's impossible to not have like a certain attraction or to have eyes for her because she's very um I don't know now, because I don't know why I want to say I don't know about now, but I think that at some point she was in everyone's dreams or fantasies because she was so attractive. And I don't want to say like she's not attractive today. It's just that I'm talking about the possibility of being exposed or having a reason to run into each other. You know, it's like, oh, I saw you when I went to this place, or I saw you when I went to this fancy dinner, or I saw you when I went to this building. And I don't know why I feel like it doesn't happen anymore. But there's attraction, yeah. And it's consistency. But there's something about him, just maybe people are like, not just because he's an idol, but people are like, you know, his family is rich, or his family has a legacy. I don't know, a business. I don't know. People view him like this. Not just for K-pop. They view him like this. They think that he has money. So it's like money and beautiful people go together. Um, But yeah, with the High Priestess intuition, also for me, I took it like the cards are inviting me to use my personal intuition, and I was like, yeah, I kind of see it. It's positive. Um, but at the same time, the High Priestess is also very secretive. So there's something about you guys can keep speculating or keep hearing, you know, gossip or people, you know, bringing back these these two. But with the High Priestess, there's a lot of hermetism. There's something about like you will never know. You will never get the proof, the physical proof. So just keep using your intuition, and you know, keep imagining what is, because the High Priestess is like very silent. You know, she's like hush. So probably they know how to hide it well. Finally, one one of the many. Okay, I'm going to be reading for Jung Ha-in and An Ha-young. Jung Ha-in and An Ha-young. Jung Ha-in and An Ha-young. the cards are are so are um I don't know why I feel funny. I feel like I want to laugh because I hear things, and it is like a very sassy tone. It's like I don't know what is going on with this deck, but it's been really sassy today. Um I mean, we got the two of cups, so yeah. From his side we have the four of pentacles from Junkai. And from this girl, from this woman, Anne Hayang, we have the Six of Swords. And in the middle, we have the Two of Cups that it says passion, passion. But for me, the Two of Cups, in this case, I don't see it like, oh, it's love or oh, they are together. I mean, I think that there's something about them being so similar, like so similar, that maybe are like these two are soulmates because they mirror each other very much. There's something maybe about people thinking like one is the opposite sex version of the other. Like there's a union in here. There's a union of in chemistry or appearance, or maybe some gesture, something that makes them very identical, I would say. And they share a passion. So if maybe they were lovers on screen, or if they shared some screen time, or if they worked together, they were united by this passion. So people maybe are like what they saw, this chemistry or this, them being on the same page, it's actually very real. um it's just that this is why I was laughing. Not from Junkain I have the Four of Pentacles, but from her side I have the Six of Swords. And I don't know why I was laughing, because she was like, I waited too long, so bye. I took my boat, I took my ticket, and I move on to newer, better things because you kept me waiting for a very long time. So I don't know. I don't know. And it makes sense because he has the Four of Pentacles. So he is someone that maybe, he has he's very possessive of his co-stars or the people that he works with or that he associates with. It's like he's very loyal, he's very protective, or maybe he has good feelings and a good perception towards them. He's like, oh, these are my people, I really enjoy their company, this was great, I don't want to let go of this moment, I really had a great time. But at the same time, he can be a bit stubborn about this. The Four of Swords is giving me like, you held on too tight to whatever you felt about this connection, or if you felt something, or if there was an attraction, or if there was, I don't know, good vibes, and so somehow from the other side there was an okay sign. There was like, yeah, keep advancing with the Six of Swords. It's like, yeah, advance towards me, advance, I'm free. um but the Four of Pentacles is him holding back, is him probably having feelings, perceptions, maybe even ideas to see her or to do something. But the Four of Swords is also like, I'm not going to show her this because, maybe I will regret later, or maybe, I think that he holds on very tight to his feelings, or maybe he takes them too seriously. And it seems like he holds on very tight to whatever he's feeling attraction towards someone. It takes a while for him to finally admit it and to share it with the other person. He holds on very tight to his feelings, and this sort of makes the other person like grow tired a bit of waiting and being like, you're taking too long to give me an answer. So I will not be sitting around like, I have other projects, or I have another connections, or I want to travel the world, or I want to go somewhere else, and you are here stuck, and I'm not, like, this is not how she is. She probably is much more free, or she is like or maybe, she had back then if they met or when they met. There's something about her having the possibility to expand her horizons or her career, and she's like, okay, bye, I cannot sit around and wait for you to make your mind. And for him, with the Four of Pentacles, is giving me like you are being a bit possessive, or you are stagnant. You're holding on very tight to these feelings or these perceptions that are very precious because is is his, is how he's feeling, and maybe for him this has a great value. And for him to open up and be like, okay, I'm ready, I'm sharing this with you, it takes longer. And maybe she was more authentic, like, it has to be now, never, because I'm always changing scenarios, or I'm always traveling, or I'm a free soul, and these are very incompatible in that sense. So yeah, no. But when it comes to work and connection, they did amazing. They were on the same page in that. Okay, bye. Bye, guys. Okay. Park Bo Gum and Kim Soo Hyun, the actress. Hmm. Another, another one. uh, okay, from Park Bo Gum part, we have the Hangman, and we have the Page of Swords from the part of the actress Kim Soo Hyun. And in the middle, we have Knight of Swords, that is bravery. These two definitely have a different way of dealing with connections. Maybe their love language, the way they talk to each other is very different. One is very opinionated, and the other one prefers to, wait and just observe, things, people, relationships. From the part of Park Bo Gum, I think that I don't know when they met or how was, this. But with the Handman, there's something about him just not, preferring to not act or to not show any kind of, emotions or perceptions, because maybe he was, sort of making a pause, or taking a break, or I don't know. I think that he was a bit like, in a moment of introspection, and he was taking things slowly, and he was sort of letting things flow, I would say, without acting that much, without doing much in this connection. So whatever reason this is, I don't know if it's because, emotionally, spiritually, but he just wasn't going to, maybe react. Or I think that there's something, just because I do have a lot of source from her side, so I'm like, why is she so loud, like so talkative, so communicative, like I need to tell you something, or I want to talk to you, or hear me out, I have this to say, a bit like, prematurely. And from Park Bo Gum's part, he has a different character. Like, it's not that he is not communicative, it's more that he probably, it depends on what period of his life this was, but he was more on this very reflective, reflecting, um, um, you know, about taking it slow in this moment, taking it slow when it comes to her, also not reacting. I don't know why I feel like this also triggered her, because I think that's because he was so silent and maybe not doing much in this connection. There's something about her just acting up, or maybe, acting or reacting, or wanting to start a conversation, or wanting to engage in an exchange of opinions, that maybe he was like, yeah, I don't have much to say. Like, just, I let it be. I'm trying to take things as they come. I'm not rushing. I don't have an opinion about this. I'm unbothered also. Like, I'm just. So I wonder, in what period this was and how he was doing internally. Because it seems like he was more like, usually I'm not like this, but in this period or about her, he was like, yeah, I prefer to not react. I don't have much to say. I prefer just to stay here. Thank you. And in the case of her, I see her, just like wanting to initiate a conversation and exchange, and maybe feeling a bit annoyed that he wouldn't respond, with the same maybe passion that she had, or with the same, necessity to, oh, let's talk about this, or let's share our point of view, yeah, yeah. Hmm. And we have the Knight of Swords, another swords, that also the keyword in here, it says bravery. So see, there's like someone like just being very opinionated, or maybe someone just, just be very verboratic, not knowing when to hush, I would say. And the other one being like, on pause, being like, why are you being like this? um, I'm not responding. I'm not. No, no, I'm not available. Sorry. So yeah, it's awkward. Awkward. It's so frustrating. Yeah, two people in a different planet. I would say. Their languages or their way of connecting was very different. One was holding back, and the other one was like, full force, like, let's talk. Okay, I'm going to read for GD and Hansohi. G Dragon and Hansohi. I noticed that every time I pull the cards and I don't flip it right away as I'm pulling, is because these people are very reserved. Usually when I do that, it's because the energy is very reserved. It's like they want me to anticipate, okay, what is under this? Hmm. Okay, from GD part, we have the Three of Cups. And from Hanso-He part, we have the King of Pentacles. And we have between this unusual pair, we have the Hermit. That the keyword it says quest for personal growth. Quest for personal growth. So yeah, from GD is like, do they know each other from a party, a celebration, a reunion with other famous faces? Because he's like, yeah, I know of her, I seen her, but there's always other people. Like, she's a friend of a friend, something like this, But it's always fun. Like, from his part, it's like, oh, she's so fun. She's so fun. Like, probably when they meet, there's drinks involved. Like, there's a lot of movement, or a lot of fun. But it feels very like, not like, oh, we're close. No, when I see you, you are with your people, or when I see you, I am with my people. So so it's not that personal. But from his side, it's like, yeah, I acknowledge, like, I hang out with her at some point, with her and other people. So it's not that deep. And from Hansohi's side, yeah, I think that, yeah, she has a huge respect for. Is she a fan of Big Bang, or maybe she did, or has she said it? Because the King of Pentacles is giving me like, oh, he is a king, or he is, this very successful man that I admire so much, or there's something about her seeing, the how prosperous he is, or how important he is, the status that he holds, how everything, you know sort of revolves around him, and he is this very, quiet and in contemplating kind of leader. She definitely sees him like the best, of the best, the man. This is like, the man, especially coming from someone that is more like, I admire your work. I don't know much about you as a person, but I admire your work, and you are a king, and you are a very successful king, and that's all this all the access that I have to your energy. So I think that there's admiration coming from her, and her being like, he's amazing, or he is like this, this person that has this magnetism, and has this very, successful energy, that she's like, I will never have that. um but also, when I saw this King of Pentacles, I was like, who is this? When I saw the King of Pentacles, I was like, maybe she was with someone when she met him. Like, she was with this person, she was with the guy when she met Shidi. Because I don't know why I think that he got in the way. Like, there could have been very interesting meeting, or they could actually, get along or become closer, if it wasn't that she brought someone with her, and it's this guy that sort of, was in the way, I would say. Or maybe people knew that she was with him, or something like this. Sort of, this person demanding attention, being like, oh, be careful, because you are here with me. So, behave, because you're here with me. So I think that their connection could have been, blocked, or sabotaged, because maybe she was dating someone, or she, and also from his side, seeing the Three of Cups, it was very crowded. It wasn't like like an intimate meeting, or he didn't have the possibility to look at her, or to, spend time with her in a personal way. It's more like, oh, you work with others. But yeah, in the middle we have the Hermit. So I think that, honestly, I don't know why I think that they would get along really well. There's something about that I would be like, okay, if there wasn't much interruptions, interference in the way, I think that they would get along, or they would have things in common. But I think that both of them also, especially now, I think that maybe they, in the past, they could have had that moment, or that possibility to see each other more, more intimately. But now both of them are on this hermit mode, and I think that they have been working on this, on being on the hermit mode. And I think that there's something about them not recovering that possibility, because both of them are sort of becoming much more like introverts, or becoming much more like, yeah, like, you probably will see me out there, but I'm working, and I'm sort of like going inwards, and I'm working on myself. They have this in common, that they are, they are in this quest for personal growth, and they are focusing on themselves, and getting better and growing. So it is, if someone wants to date either GD or Hansohi, they probably are going to find them in this hermit kind of energy, that it feels like once they're inside the cave, they will probably not leave that place for like until the hermit year ends, until 2025 ends. It seems like romantically, or maybe um, like even spiritually, there's something about them going inwards and not just, their energies are very like close off, close off, but they're working on themselves. Okay, I'm going to continue with Mino of Shiny and Irene of Red Velvet. Let's see. Hmm. Complex, complex. Okay, for Mino, we have the Eight of Cups. From Irene, we have the Two of Cups. And in the middle, we have the Judgment. The keyword in here is says awakening. They do have feelings. I mean, in the case of the Eight of Cups from Mino's side, I wonder if he sort of like gave up on this. I don't know if they had like some differences or there's something about them. I don't know why I get the vibe that I don't know if they flirted in the past or if there's some emotional or they were friends and one of them had, feelings for the other but didn't say anything. It feels like there's emotions, but there's also a lot of incompatibility and also bad timing. Because I think that, when I see this, I'm like, probably her being like, yeah, I like you, or I say something nice to you. I try to connect the best way I can in my ability of being emotional. And he's sort of like, it's too late. So what is going on with me now? I'm thinking about this Eight of Cups, and I'm like, could it be that he is maybe not emotionally available at the moment because maybe he's probably, moving on from someone else, or he just ended a connection and he's in this process where, my cups are empty. I have nothing to give you, but I appreciate you nevertheless. Or maybe, he grew also he grew tired of having maybe these feelings, or he expected something from her. And I think that finally now she's like maybe, saying something, or maybe she's, trying to connect, or maybe she's trying to, resume this friendship, I would say, or this connection. I think that she's afraid to say the word love. She's afraid to admit that this could be romantic. I think that she doesn't do romance, or she doesn't do romantic or cheesy. So if I feel very awkward when I have these cards about them, because it's like they want to be romantic, but they end up making things very awkward. And there's a lot of misunderstandings. This is why you have one that wants to connect and the other one that wants to walk away. So it's like I think that probably the issue is that they are very similar. but they don't see it. They are like, no, but you are the awkward one. I am normal. You make things awkward. I am normal. And both of them are very similar, very similar, very similar. It's just that they don't. I don't know what happened. In the case of Mino, he's like, bye. He's like, I'm already done with this. I already went through this with you. I decided to let it go. And her is like, don't go. We still have to talk. There's something experiment. But I mean, let's I don't know nothing about Irene. I cannot judge her character. I will not judge anyone. Um, but for her to get the Two of Cups for someone, even if this is not romantic and maybe it's platonic, but for her to have the Two of Cups about this man, I think that you know is very important. It's sweet. It's nice. It's just that I think that the other part is like I don't want it. I pass by. Um, and we have the judgment that it says awakening, but also for me the judgment literally is that they are very judgmental people. Not judgmental of life, of each other. I don't know if they pick on each other or they're always like trying to get the other person's attention by judging them. But it feels like, like now you're awakening, now you're realizing that you may like this person after you treat them like nothing. Like, so it's bad timing. On one of them is waking up, one of them is like, oh, I think I kind of like you, or I find you cute, which is a lot, which is a lot to get to this level of, of connection of like, I kind of find you interesting now. Now that I'm looking at you, I think that you're nice, you're interesting. But the other part maybe is not interested. The other part is like, no, mm, no, gross relationships. So why do I feel like this is so childish? So childish, so childish. They judge each other very much. And I think that this is their love language, to be judgy of each other. They have this, like the more I like you, the more I'm going to judge you, or I'm going to criticize you, or I'm going to, be picky about certain things that you do, and I'm going to point out all your mistakes, and I'm going to be very harsh, and I'm going to, embarrass you in front of other people, or something like this. But but it feels like, there's an awakening, there's a change in this dynamic. One of them is sort of learning new things about this dynamic that maybe they didn't see or they weren't prepared to see back then. Now they are seeing sort of the value of the other person, or they are seeing the potential of the other person being a good match for them. But the other one is like, I'm not available at the moment. I'm dealing with other things emotionally, spiritually. I have my issues, I have my problems. I don't know if I'm ready, but yeah, definitely there's. It's just that it's so like it's happening at such a not compatible time. Is like one decides to maybe confess or open a conversation, and the other one is like, you hold on in there. No, I'm not ready to have this conversation with you. Like, what are you doing? No. Wait, guys, I'm going to change this just in case it runs battery. I think I have fever because I'm all red. Like I feel it, like my throat hurts again, and like I feel like maybe it's allergies because the weather is changing. So yeah. Okay. I'm going to continue with Enhypen, Hisan, and Karina. I didn't know about this too. This is new for me. Hisan and Karina. No, not just subscribe or else. I'm like, you had to subscribe 3 months ago. No, not 3 months, 3 weeks ago. Or is it 3 months? I don't remember what restriction I did put. I think it's 3 months. So yeah, I do that often to regulate or at least try. I don't know if it does any difference, but to try to, you know, avoid having, this very uncomfortable, or you guys having to block more people because, random people that appear. And yeah, so this is why I do it. It's like this community or this chat, is a very personal space for us and for you guys, that you guys are, exchanging opinions and having a good time, or maybe talking about something important, and just having, a random person spam in the chat. I think that is very disrespectful. So yeah, I try to do it because of that. Okay, oh, let's see. Okay. Hison and Karina, let's see. Hison, Karina, and the connection, the chariot, great effort. From Hison's side, the Queen of Wands. From Karina, we have the Hangman. So Karina is not moving. Karina is like, I no comments. And we have the chariot, great effort. I think that they would look good together. There's something about them. Maybe in the future you will see them sharing more space together, and I think that you will see a lot, maybe, or you will see more interactions between or among, um, in Hypen and maybe some ESPA members. Because we have the chariot, so there's something about, they're cool with each other, but it's all about it's about, them being able to move on with their careers. Probably if there's some speculations, or if there's something about these two groups that people are like, oh no, because this happened, or this rumor and this rumor, I think that eventually they are going to be able to hang out at some point. Not hang out like normal people,
but maybe, share the screen time or share, a moment on stage. I don't know. But they are trying to, move on from the awkward thing of not being able to be in the same spot because people go crazy. I don't think that is about them, but it feels like, in the case of his song, with the Queen of Wands, is giving me yeah, like a lot of people probably have a crush on Karina and they think that Karina is perfect. I think that from his own perspective, seeing this Queen of Wands, I think that he definitely does like her, or he does admire her, and he sees her like this powerful Queen of Wands. It makes sense because Karina is a fire sign, so he probably has a type, and is this, a strong, very, um, these women that they really steal all the attention to themselves, and they are powerful, and they are leaders, and they are magnetic, and they just, rule everyone. He probably likes bossy women. I'm not saying Karina is bossy, but I think that he loves women in power, and he does admire her so much. He does like her. Maybe he has a type, and Karina is one of these types. It doesn't have to be, like, oh, it's attraction. I think that it's common sense, that probably Karina is the fantasy of a lot of people, and from his own side there's a lot of admiration, and he really sees her, or he sees her, like her energy or what she represents, like a woman of value, because the Queen of Wands is not a regular woman, is someone that has a lot of power and prestige, and is a boss. So I think that he does respect her a lot, or her image. um but I don't think that there, he probably is also intimidated by, by this. He's like, wow, this is her, she's all this. I don't see her, like doing at some point something about it, or creating something, a situation. But I think that also is very interesting, because for me, this Queen of Wands also probably represents his own energy himself. I think that he could become this Queen of Wands when he likes someone, and he could be like this sassy, or this, very, very, like a showy person. So I think that with someone like Karina, they wouldn't get along. I don't know if it's because both of them want to be the stars in the relationship, but I think that they are very similar, and it's like, no, in a connection with them, only one queen. There has to be only one queen in this connection. So probably, he's giving me Venus in Leo. I don't know why, but he also is very prideful. So probably, there's something about like, yeah, she's amazing, but I wouldn't date someone like her because, like, I need my moment to shine as well. I want to be her, or I want to be, the popular one as well. um yeah, and from Karina's perspective, with with the handman, she's like tied up. She's like very, a bit uncomfortable, I would say. I don't know if people have mentioned this to her, that they ship her with him. She's like, I have no words anymore. Like, another person that probably she gets shipped a lot with different people all the time. So she's a bit, she doesn't have a perception, a feeling, and an opinion anymore. She's like, it is what it is. Today is this person, tomorrow is going to be the other one. Like, she's not judging anyone, but she's feeling a bit like, yeah, I guess this is part of the job. I kind of like, I'm trying to understand, with the handman, is giving me like, she's trying to make reason of it. She's trying to reach a level of enlightenment about why people do these associations. Why? Like, how did you come to the conclusion? Like, how did you do? What gymnastics did you do? She feels a bit uncomfortable about shipping, honestly. She feels it like, yeah, I understand. She's not going to do something neither to deny nor to confirm things, but at some point it's like, she's like, this is bigger than me. This is not people, shipping me with a potential good partner because they want to wish me well and they want to see me happy in a relationship. No, it's more like, I'm a product that they're consuming, and they want to, they want to associate me with another people. And so she's like, there's nothing I can do about it, you know. But yeah, with the chariot, it's like both of them are, they don't have anything against each other. If they have to work in the future together and if they have to collaborate, they will do it. They also think that things shouldn't be weird, that they should, there's something about them thinking about the groups, being like, we should be able at some point to advance, and put an effort to maybe, working together in the future. I don't know what happened, but it seems like the two groups cannot be named in the same sentence and they know it. So there's something about them with the chariot being like, we will make the effort to rebuild this or to start this all over. So, there's no more awkward, um, moments or people just being, I don't know what people think of these groups, if they're dating or not, but it seems like the maybe the people naming all these two or the groups, people go crazy. So, but they are like, we cannot stop, we cannot, not just, I will not sit next to this person because, the fandoms don't want it. It's like they plan to keep advancing, and maybe to keep, associating with more male groups or other groups, and not, things don't have to be awkward with spy others. So yeah. And I know someone asked me for Karina and JK, so I'm going to add it now because I want to see why people are so obsessed with these two. It's like, let's put the rumors to rest once and for all, if there's rumors. Okay, Karina and JK. Mm, power couple. They are not a couple, but there's a lot of power in here. I'm like, mm, mm. But it's very similar to to what I said about his son getting the Queen of Wands. There's War of the Egos in here because they got the Queen of Wands for the connection. So yeah, it's like, these two stars cannot be together because they are too powerful, the both of them, and they probably have like a lot of presence, or they have a lot. They are a lot. So together they cannot mix. No, there's no room. There's no room. They are amazing separately. They need, more like, I don't want to say like more humble partners, but they need someone that can balance what they don't have. They need that person to give them that because they are so exposed or they are so fantastic that they need someone that can, you know, be much more not out there, not like someone that is not a star, I would say, or not that wanted, someone simple. Um, from Karina's perspective, we have the Ace of Wands, not the Ace of Wands, sorry, the Magician. What did I say? The Ace of Wands, but it could be the Magician. From JK's perspective, about Karina, we have the Star card, and in the connection, we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. That the keyword says honorable, honorable, honorable. Yeah, I think that they really respect each other, but it's like, when you respect someone because you recognize yourself in the other person, and you're like, yeah, you and I, we are the same. Like, not the same person, but it's like we vibrate similar. So it's like, because I appreciate you, you go that way, and I will go that way. Because, when I see the Queen of Wands in the middle, it's giving me like diva, like the clashes of two divas. And I think that for a connection or a friendship or a long lasting connection, um, one of them would get offended, or one of them would like expect the other person to do this for them, and the other one wouldn't. The other one would be like, yeah, no, I don't do that. So things could get awkward. Things could get awkward. There's a lot of stardom here. There's a lot of stardom, and but I think that there's something about both of them triggering this, because actually, I mean, at least from, I don't know much. I read for Karina, but I don't remember her energy with with others. But there's something in this connection in particular that they would love to flex their power to the other one. Is like a competition. I don't know why. It feels like they trigger each other like this. It's like, you think that you're a star, I'm a bigger star. So it feels like they would pick on each other because of like, oh, I expected you to be more excited to see me, but since you are always so busy and you're so important, you didn't have time to see me, and you think that, so there's this like, what they complain of the other is actually what they do to other people. So it seems like it's too devastating, and no, no, in this case. And also, I think that when I sometimes when I read for JK in other dynamics with his members or with other people, there's this, he's very humble. Like, his energy is very chill. He's like, oh, I want everyone to get along. But in here with the star, he's like, he's definitely like shining on purpose. It's like, I'm the star in the relationship. Yeah, I shine. I know I'm amazing. And from her side, with the magician, there's something about her being like, you know I could get you to fall in love with me, or I could manipulate you to do what I want you to do, because I am that intelligent, or I am that skillful. The magician is very skillful, is a great player. The magician has, a lot of resources, is knows how to draw you in, and sell you things and convince you of things that you didn't know. So there's something about both of them having this way of like, you know, you should fall for me. I'm going to make it happen. And the other one being like, no, because I'm the star here. I'm the star. So no, 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 no. But both of them with the kind of honorable. This would be like two Queen of Wands dating. No, no, their price wouldn't let them. But the Queen of Wands is also very honorable. So there's something about, maybe if at some point they would clash or they would argue, there's something about them just forgetting about it and then reconciling at the end, because they are honorable. Both of them are very honorable people. It's just that maybe in a connection, there's something about them being so similar that they piss each other off. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you provocating me like this? If you know that I'm also very smart and I can see what you're doing, because sometimes I do it myself. So so it's the perfect mirroring. It's the perfect mirroring. Okay. Rice Wombin and Espanini. Both of them got fours. So again, another one that are very similar, but they are so unbothered, uninterested. They are like, us, you like, I'm out of here. Okay, from Wombin's perspective, we have the Four of Pentacles. From Ninnick's perspective, we have the Four of Swords. And in the middle, we have the Lovers, that the keyword is says choice. They are like, no. They're like, I mean, with the lovers, there's something about them being playful, and especially like I don't know who of the two of them, but they're like, yeah, we could have the possibility. Are they very flirtatious, like on different sides, like Wombin and Ning with their audience? Are they flirtatious? Because I think that they leave the door open for a lot of potential ships. Um, because it seems like they drop the bomb or they drop the hint and then they go to rest. They are like, oh, I have no idea why you're saying this. I don't know what you saw in there. Like, I have no idea. I don't remember. What did you see? What did I do? I don't remember. Like, there's a lot. I think that they play with people's expectations. This is why I'm asking if they are flirtatious on purpose, or they have this, maybe they give hints to see if people are going to hold on to it and create a history or create a story about this or create a potential rumor. They are so intelligent. They are so intelligent. And also the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Swords is like, they are not, um I would say there's something about the routines being like, I'm a bit bored. I'm a bit bored, honestly. Like, I'm a bit bored. They probably go online and they read people's comments just because they are a bit bored. I don't know what is going on with their dynamics with others, but it seems like they isolate themselves in their own, in the four walls, literally with the two fours. These people love their rooms or their, special places or their bedroom. They love to be in their little box, I would say. And they take care a lot of their privacy. I would say they probably are more like, I want to stay here and just observe the chaos unfold, because they do bring chaos, but they act like it wasn't me. I didn't do this. I didn't start this, I swear. But with the lovers, with choice, there's this Gemini energy of like, I might have said something or I might have dropped a hint, but I didn't think that people would catch it. like honestly, it's like I just left it. I left this year and I went to bed. Um, and but yeah, from Woman's perspective, honestly, Woman is so he's holding on very tight to his life, I would say, to his stability, to he's not an easy guy to open up. I don't know if people do ship him with different people because he's pretty, because he's handsome. So there's something about people being like, oh, he could be the romantic guy. With the Four of Swords, I see that he is very stubborn. He is a bit inflexible. Very stubborn, very stuck in his own ways. So I don't see him like, being romantic with someone at the moment. I think that there's something about him probably being worried about his own stability, maybe his, finances, his emotional stability, his, um, his own, um, well-being. He's holding on very tight to his routines, so I don't see him very available to even meeting people. With the Four of Swords, like I'm protecting protecting myself, like these 4 coins that I have, like no one is taking this from me. No one is taking me from this from me, not even a stupid rumor. I think that he's like, no, I will not give you space to speculate about me. I'm busy. I'm holding on very tight to this that I have, that it took me a lot of effort to be here, to get here, and I will not spoil it. So it means that he doesn't get out of his comfort zone. At least he's not going to do it. Um, so I think that he's taking extra care. He's not moving. He's not moving. He's not moving. He's like, no. And in the case of in the case of Nini, I see her like a sleeping beauty. I see her like a sleeping beauty. She's like, yeah, like I think that she's very playful. There's something about her just being very imaginative, and I think that she can cause a bit of chaos, but she doesn't take accountability of what she creates. She's like, what happened? I don't know. And the Four of Swords is also giving me like, um, like, oh, I don't remember, or if I don't remember, it didn't happen. I think that with the Four of Swords, she's also is like this, a bit detached, or a bit like, it seems like she's forgetful, or it doesn't make sense what she's saying, maybe is because she does this on purpose to, keep her mental health. There's something about her, sometimes, on purpose forgetting things, or on purpose, having a certain way of behavior, because she just is trying to make sense of this very stressful reality that she lives. With the Four of Swords, it's like, I don't care who you want to um, ship me with. Is like, you want to ship me with this person, go ahead. With the lovers, I will give you the choice. Choose, choose my best partner. Choose who you think that it could be my best match. Choose it for me. Choose it. I will be here sleeping. And probably there's something about her sleeping a lot, not being that active, like meeting people, like people think. She prefers to sleep. Um, but she also prefers to stay drama free. In spite of maybe people see her and they're like, no, but she had said these things and she had been like this. It's a character. She's actually very chill. I told you that Rice is a group of grandpas. I told you the other day when I read for them and their comeback, and I got also inspired by this. They got the Knight of Pentacles and they got the Queen of Pentacles, and I was like, guys, like don't you know throw your fantasies at Rice, or whatever you think that Rice should be doing, or how they should be living their lives, and you know because they have a plan. They have their path is already planned, is organized, it's very well, you know, arranged. And I don't want to say like very well arranged, but I think that the members are these people that they are all about productivity. And even if it takes them longer than the others, they will slowly get there. They are working towards being better, being more efficient, being more professional. They are very serious about their career. So they are not like the other groups. They are not going to be goofy, or loud, or just original and wild. No, they are more like they have the retro vibe. They have the like, for me they're like an old soul. It's giving me old soul. Sometimes you want them to be suffering, or to be that emotional and to talk about things, and they're like, I will just stay consistent with my work. Let me work. I'm working. This is serious. I'm working. Let me work. It's like they will get their back eventually. People like they maybe compare them with other groups and they're like, oh, but for them it's taking them longer. Like, the other groups that are coming up after them, they already achieved all of these and they are just in there. And don't sleep on Rise. Rise is always advancing, it's always going. They are going a slow pace, but they're getting there. They're getting there. And even if maybe there's some songs or comebacks that you're like, oh, I didn't like this one. Well, they will continue working. Like, you don't like this one, okay, I will make it better the next time, and I will work to this. And it's like, while maybe there's going to be other groups that are going to disappear after having a huge success. Rise is going to be like the turtle, slow moving. They are getting there. They're getting there. Also, they don't love people telling them how to do their job. They don't like it. They will not say anything. They will show you with their work. They will remain silent, but they do things the way they want to do them. They are working, and this is how they work. If you're a kind of person that you want to be overstimulated by a concept, or like, oh, I want this concept to be great like this and loud, and Rise is not the group for you. And also the members are not that like crazy or like, they're just chill. Okay, the last one, Xiao Shan and Yang Xi. Xiao Shan and Yang Xi. Xiao Shan and Yang Xi. Okay, from Xiao Shan, we have the Ace of Wands. So, yeah, a lot of attraction, physical attraction. I find you attractive. Yang Xi, we have the King of Cups. So, also receptivity, like emotionally, I'm open, I'm mature. Probably she's much more, Yang Xi, she probably is a water sign, or she's like much more emotionally mature than him, or she knows how to regulate her emotions better. She knows a lot about her inner world. In the middle, we have the Emperor, that is strategic. So could it be that they had these very, you know, romantic scenes, or maybe even sexual scenes, or very hot or sexy scenes? Um, because they seem very driven or very willing to, do things together, or maybe look like a couple, or just show passion to each other. A lot of chemistry, a lot of like, yeah, I like you, I like. Um, there could have been something. I don't know if it lasted, but there could have been something. But also with the emperor, the keyword of is strategic. So I'm like, definitely, the in this connection, if they work together, there was also this aspect of like, this is good for my career, or is helping me at some point. Like, there's a strategy in this. I don't know who wanted to gain what, but there's something like, okay, what I'm doing is more about my pride, or if I can get, a promotion, or if I can get you to, to make me more popular, or but he definitely was very attracted to her. The Ace of Wands is literal, very attracted to her, very attracted. Just also wouldn't hide it. But I don't know if it lasted that long. I think that it was like a crush, or it was like, oh, I find you so attractive, but it's not like, oh, this was a connection. No, it was very brief. And the King of Cups from her side is like, oh, like, oh, can we talk? Like, tell me about how you feel, your feelings. How are you feeling? very empathic, trying to understand the other part, trying to be a bit romantic, a bit generous, and from the other part being like, I'm talking to you because I find you hot or I find you attractive. That's the only reason why I'm talking to you. And the other one being much more about like, like a therapist. I want to know how you feel or what do you think about this. But yeah, with the emperor, there was a strategy in this, and I don't know if it's necessarily if it's them being strategic or someone that one was managing them maybe told them like, okay, you have to do this, to be seen with them, or maybe in order for them to show a much more authentic um, connection or dynamic, spend more time together, guys, talk more, get closer. But yeah, it was part of a strategy. Yeah, but yeah, it was like they weren't. There was some sparks, definitely. There was some sparks. Ah, thank you, Fluffy. Yeah, but yeah, there's something there is, something there is. It's like when you don't know what this is heading, but that is a good strategy. It is, or it felt good, to be together, or it felt good being in your presence. Like I like seeing you, or I like talking to you. You know, but probably one of them wanted to connect emotionally, and the other one just wanted, you know, skinship. Mm. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. My eyes hurt, and I think that is allergies because I'm so red in the face, and I feel like like heat in my face as well. Um, I think that is allergies because the weather is changing, and and also my throat hurts a bit. So yeah, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for the recommendations. Thank you so much for being here. Um, I'm sort of touching my face because my hands are cold, so it helps me. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here. And if everything goes well, I will see you on Sunday again at 10 a.m. my time, Argentinian time. So yeah, thank you for the recommendations. This was fun. I learned a lot. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Have a lovely week. Bye.